Alright guys, I'm going to do part 2, and we are going to talk about more cards from Phyrexia All Will Be One. I am of course your host, Tony K, with UGSM. You guys already know we're living the dream as always. We're just happy to be here. In part 1 I talked about the higher priced cards in the upcoming set. For those of you who may be new to these videos, I like to just screen record, show you guys exactly what I'm seeing. Sometimes I ramble a bit, so I'm trying to limit these videos to not as long for this set. Just trying new formats. If you guys do like the content, do me a solid and either comment or like or share. Just do something to help me with the algorithm. It is appreciated, but you're not here to hear me beg. You're here to hear me talk about Magic. So I ended the last video talking about Tyvar. Let's talk about Skrelv's Hive. So this strikes me as a Bitter Blossom for white, and I'm here for it. I'm trying to think of the Grixis commander Arela that when you play enchantments or artifacts, you get creatures. This is the kind of card that I want for that deck, where I'm going to get a little bonus. I can find ways to give my creatures lifelink. I can find ways to deal with that one life loss, because I do the same thing with Bitter Blossom. But to get the toxic one, to me, that's pretty powerful. Even if it doesn't necessarily kill an opponent, I can't see opponents really letting poison counters stack up. Like, they're going to block that creature versus maybe some of the other stuff, because 10 poison counters no matter what, and there's not many ways. I think I can count on one hand how many ways you can get rid of poison counters. Or avoid dying from them. Up next, Staff of Completion. We got another staff, and this one, you can pay life until you want to untap it. So at 3 mana, it's right on curve with the other one. Pay 1 life, destroy target permanent you own. That's really interesting if you're playing a deck that takes control of stuff. Pay 2 life, add 1 mana of any color. I like that. I really, really do. Pay 3 life to proliferate, 4 life to draw a card, and pay 5 mana to untap it. I can see this getting abused. Life gain's pretty simple nowadays. I don't think it's as complicated as it used to be. Especially having multiple colors in your deck when we're talking about EDH here, of course. So I see this being pretty powerful, pretty good, and pretty popular. And guys, look, when I talk about these cards, remember, I'm a casual Magic player. You know, I just like to roll the dice and tap the lands. But for real, just keep that in mind. Up next, excuse me, I didn't want to cough out loud. Up next, another solid reprint, Phyrexia Arena. Now, I'm going to skip over the fact that we got these check lands here. Good for us. Phyrexian Arena, excuse me. Super, super solid EDH card. I know some people say that there's better options and that there is other things you can do with your 3 mana in that slot. This has been a card that for as long as I've played Magic has been, or at least played EDH, has been relevant and has been really solid. And look, you're telling me 1 life? I mean, again, in that deck I was talking about with the Hive here, this is another almost auto include for me. I have no problem saying that. We are rolling, boys and girls. You know, I saw some stuff about this Mercurial Spell Dancer online. I'm like, meh. People getting excited about it. Meh. The full art land here, very cool. Great job. Let's talk about Soulless Jailer, though. We got a couple more cards I want to do in this video. Soulless Jailer, 2 mana, 0/4 creature. It shuts down the graveyard and graveyard spells, basically. This card, for what it is, it's on par mana-wise with other artifacts that do similar things, right? It's right in that same range. So, with that being said, you're telling me I get a 0/4 out of it, so I do have a creature. It doesn't have Defender, and it's not legendary. I actually really like this card. Stop me if you've heard this before, right? That's what these videos are about, is cards I like out of these new sets. And this is one that at $1.72, let that bad boy get under $1 like you know he's going to, and I will swoop up a couple play sets. Because even if it's not financially great, in the play group that I'm in, or the 2 play groups that I'm in, yeah, this is a card that can do some damage. So, especially when you're talking about those commander games where it's a bit more casual, or I get into games where it's like 6 to 8 people sometimes, so it adds up. All right, last card I want to talk about in this video. Did I pass it? They're killing me, these full art lands. There it is. Uh, they're killing me, the full art lands. I just want to throw that out there because every time I'm like, okay, full art lands, we're done with them, yada yada. They come out with another set that just has some bomb ass lands, man. Look at that. Super cool. Super cool. And then there's the mountain. Alright. So I wanted to talk about White Sun's Twilight. This is the only card that I'm going to do a second comment on. I made a TikTok about this one and put it up, and I had a lot of people actually comment on it and reach out and say something about it. So for 7 mana, and I'm going to keep saying for 7 mana because that's what makes the card attractive to me. 7 mana, I gain X life. So that would be 5, because the 2 and the 5 is 7. I will get 5 1/1 colorless might artifact creature tokens with toxic 1 and they can't block. So again, similar to the other examples I've used these tokens with, I don't care. I'm going to attack with them every turn because I can't block with them. And if I attack with those and other creatures on the side, my opponents are going to have to make some tough choices. But if X is 5 or more, destroy all other creatures. So in the right build, where maybe you have a bunch of planeswalkers, or maybe you have a bunch of non-creature permanents on the field, or maybe you don't have many creatures, or maybe you have creatures with indestructible, for 7 mana, bare minimum, you are gaining 5 life, getting 5 creatures with toxic 1, and destroying all other creatures. That, to me, seems very valuable. I don't care if it's at sorcery speed, guys. I don't care if it's 7 mana, and you're like, that's so expensive, and there's other options. Part of the kicker with EDH is that you only get 1 copy of each card. So if I can get a card that does multiple things in one, but also get a few different versions of cards that do the same thing like that, why wouldn't I want another toy? This, to me, absolute banger. And I don't care what people think about it, although I'm talking about it, so maybe I do care, I don't know. Either way around it, guys, I appreciate you. Tell me what you guys think, comment below, and I think I got one more video in me. We'll see you for part 3.